What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Wednesday, March 22nd. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 10-game NBA slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. So I like Chris Paul from the Phoenix Suns playing the LA Lakers, who have the fourth worst defense overall, give up the second most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Chris Paul has averaged 36.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. He's projected at 38.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 7,600 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 227.5 points scored in this game. And Chris Paul has scored 51, 32, and 32 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 33, 30, and 33 minutes. And I like this pick because Chris Paul scored 51, 40, and 33 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Lakers. So I think he's got 50 plus fantasy point upside in this matchup. So I like Chris Paul here versus the LA Lakers. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat playing the New York Knicks, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. And Tyler Hero has averaged 36.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. So he's projected at 35.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 6,800 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 222.5 points scored in this game. And Tyler Hero has scored 34, 27, and 40 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 36, and 33 minutes. And I like his player versus team history here as well. He scored 51, 48, 44, and 34 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the Knicks. So I like Tyler Hero here versus the New York Knicks. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. So I like Gary Trent Jr. from the Toronto Raptors playing the Indiana Pacers, who have the 3rd worst defense overall, give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Gary Trent Jr. has averaged 28 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He's projected at 24.4 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 30 fantasy points or more here in this matchup, get you over 5 times value. Only 5,200 DraftKings salary, 600 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 234 points scored in this game. And Gary Trent Jr. has scored 26, 38, and 38 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 29, and 34 minutes. And he scored 49 fantasy points in his last game versus the Pacers. It's a good matchup, somewhat high-scoring game here. He's playing a ton of minutes recently. His salary came down because he was underperforming both in minutes and production for a little while. I don't know if he had an injury or something, but he's back playing 30 plus minutes a night and being pretty productive here. So I like Gary Trent Jr. here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. So I got a value play for you here. Take a look at Maxi Kleber from the Dallas Mavericks playing the Golden State Warriors, who have the 8th worst defense overall, give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Now Maxi Kleber, he's averaged 15.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 10% usage rate, but his minutes have been trending up recently and so has his production. So I think he could be worth he's a sleeper pick, a high risk, high reward play here. So he's projected at 17.5 fantasy points here tonight. I think he can score 20 plus fantasy points, get you 5 times value or more. And he's only $3,600 DraftKings salary, $700 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 234 points scored in this game.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
And Maxi Kleber has scored 21, 19, and 8 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 28, and 27 minutes. So I think he's got a good chance to crush value here if he's going to play 30 plus minutes here tonight in a good matchup. So I like Maxi Kleber as a sleeper pick here versus the Golden State Warriors. Okay, moving on to the center position. Once again, I like Christian Wood from the Dallas Mavericks playing the Golden State Warriors, who have the 8th worst defense overall, middle of the pack defending opposing centers. Christian Wood has averaged 32.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. He's projected at 30.3 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 35 fantasy points or more and get you over 5 times value. He's $6,700 DraftKings salary, $1,100 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 234 points scored in this game, and Christian Wood has scored 39, 45, and 51 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 29, 34, and 28 minutes. So he's got 40, 50 plus fantasy point upside. So I like Christian Wood here versus the Golden State Warriors.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.